Imagine you lose something important, your job, your relationship, your health. In that moment, your mind screams, "This is bad. This is the worst thing that could happen to me." What if what looks like a curse today is quietly saving you from something worse tomorrow? To understand this, listen carefully to the story of an old man, a white horse, and a village that kept getting life wrong. Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful village, there lived an old man. He was not rich, he had no land, no piles of coins, no fancy house. But he had one thing everyone in the village admired: a beautiful white horse. People would stop and stare whenever the horse passed by. Its coat shone in the sunlight like fresh snow. Its eyes were bright and intelligent. It looked strong enough to run across mountains. Rich men from nearby towns came with heavy bags of money. "Sell him to us," they begged. "We'll pay you enough to live like a king." But the old man always shook his head and smiled. "This horse is not for sale," he said. "He is not just a horse, he is my friend, my family." The villagers thought he was crazy. They whispered, "What a foolish old man. You could live so comfortably. Why choose poverty?" But the old man stayed calm. "Money can buy many things," he said, "but not peace. I am happy the way I am." Then, one morning, everything changed. The villagers woke up to a shocking piece of news. The white horse was gone. The stable door was open. The rope was broken. The horse had disappeared into the night. The villagers rushed to the old man's house. "Your horse is gone," they cried. "This is terrible! Such bad luck! If you had sold him, you'd be rich. Now you have nothing." The old man listened quietly. His face didn't change. He simply said, "Maybe it's bad, maybe it's not. Who knows?" The villagers were annoyed. "Of course it's bad," they said. "You're just pretending you're not sad." They shook their heads and went home. Sure, they were right. Days passed. The stable stayed empty. Then, one morning, something unbelievable happened. People heard a loud noise outside the village. Hooves, many hooves. They ran to see what was happening. The white horse was back, and it wasn't alone. Behind it, running wild and strong, were 3 powerful horses from the mountains. Now the villagers were amazed. They gathered around the old man and shouted, "You're so lucky! You lost 1 horse and now you have 4. This is a miracle!" But the old man said the same words in the same calm voice. "Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Life has its own way of balancing things. Let's wait and see what comes next." The villagers were confused. "How can he not see this is good?" they whispered. But the old man stayed peaceful. Now, the old man had more work to do. His son, a strong and energetic young boy, began training the wild horses. He wanted to help his father. He wanted to turn the wild horses into useful, gentle ones. Day after day, he worked with them. He rode them, guided them, tried to teach them to obey. Then, one afternoon, while riding one of the new horses, it suddenly jumped and kicked. The boy fell hard to the ground. There was a sharp crack. His leg broke. The injury was serious. He screamed in pain. The villagers carried him back home. Once again, they gathered around the old man's small house. They shook their heads sadly. "What bad luck," they said. "First your horse ran away. Then it came back with more, and now your only son is badly injured. He will not be able to walk properly for a long time. You are cursed." The old man looked at his son, lying in bed with his leg tied in a splint. The pain on the boy's face hurt his heart. But still, he took a deep breath and said, "Sometimes the path to something good is full of pain. We do not see the bigger picture yet. Maybe this is bad. Maybe it is not. Who knows?" The villagers were angry now. "How can he say that?" they muttered. "If this isn't bad, then what is?" But nothing anyone said could disturb the old man's calm. A few weeks later, everything in the village changed. Dark clouds of fear covered the kingdom. War had begun. The king's soldiers marched from village to village with a single order: all young men must join the army. Drums beat, swords shone, mothers cried, fathers stood in silence. The soldiers came to the old man's village. They lined up all the young men in the square. "Take him, and him, and him," the captain pointed. Every healthy young man was taken, except one, the old man's son. The captain took one look at his bandaged, broken leg and said, "Leave him. He's no use in battle." The soldiers marched away with all the other sons. The sound of their footsteps faded into the distance, leaving behind a heavy silence and mothers with tears in their eyes. This time, the villagers didn't run to the old man with complaints. They came with shame. "You were right," they said softly. "Your son's broken leg saved his life. Our sons are now in danger, and we don't know if they will ever come back. What we thought was bad for you has become a blessing." The old man gently looked at them and said, "Life is always moving between good and bad, joy and pain. But everything happens for a reason. We just don't see it at first." He paused and added, "You called the horse running away bad. You called its return with 3 more horses good. You called my son's broken leg bad again. Now you see things differently. But each time you were judging too quickly. You only looked at one page of the story, not the whole book. And that is the lesson most people never learn. In your own life, things don't always go the way you want. Sometimes you lose something. Sometimes plans break. Sometimes people leave. In that moment, it hurts. It feels like the end. But the truth is, life is much bigger than a single moment. What looks like a curse today may become a blessing tomorrow. What hurts you now may be quietly protecting you from a greater pain. The job you lost may push you toward a better career. The person who walked away may open space for someone who truly values you. The old man in this story did something powerful. He didn't rush to stamp events as good or bad. He stayed calm. He waited. He trusted the journey. You and I can do the same. The next time something goes wrong, instead of saying, "This is the worst thing ever," try saying, "Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's not. Let's see what life brings next." Keep faith. Stay strong. Don't judge your story by a single chapter. Remember, life is weaving something bigger than you can see right now. Everything happens for a reason, and sometimes you understand that reason only when you look back. If you feel this story can give hope to someone who is struggling right now, share it with them. Give it a like, leave a comment about what you learned, and subscribe so you don't miss the next story.